All right, here. Today I'm going to make my predictions for all of the NFL Week 11 games. There's a lot of good ones. And let's get started.
Ryan Priest, and you're watching William Blackwell on YouTube.
All right, here. Before I get into my predictions for Week 11, I'm going to give out a couple awards. Starting off with the Team of the Week, I am giving it to the Los Angeles Rams. They defeated the Seattle Seahawks in Week 10, and no one, including myself, expected that to happen. So I'm giving the Team of the Week award to the Los Angeles Rams. They were clicking on all three phases of the side of the ball: offense, defense, and special teams. I know they lost their kicker, but Johnny Hecker just fit right in. But the Player of the Week in Week 10, this right here is going to catch you off guard. It's not an offensive player nor a defensive player. It is a kicker, Matt Prater. He was 3 for 3 on extra points, and he was also 3 for 3 on field goals, kicking a 53-yarder, a 37-yarder, and a 59-yarder, which ended up being a game winner at the end, and they won and defeated the Washington football team 30-27. But there you go, Team of the Week, the Rams, and Player of the Week, Matt Prater. But let's get into the predictions. All right, here, kicking off Week 11 on Thursday night, November 19th at 8:20 p.m., you got the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Seattle to play the Seattle Seahawks. I expect this game to be going back and forth, and I think Arizona's offense late in this game in the fourth quarter will have a spark and it will set up for a game-winning field goal by Zane Gonzalez, which I think he will make, and the Arizona Cardinals will win by 3. Now you fast forward things to Sunday, November 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, starting off with the Atlanta Falcons taking on their divisional rivals, the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees got a little banged up in Week 10, but I don't expect him to be out for Week 11. But if he were to be, I would expect Jameis Winston to get the start. But that won't make a difference. I think New Orleans wins regardless of who their starting quarterback is. Next, you got the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Cleveland Browns. From an outsider perspective, Cleveland looks good in this matchup, but Cleveland played sloppy against the Houston Texans in Week 10, which kind of worried me. While on the other hand, the Eagles struggled to the New York Giants, which the Giants are terrible. And they got beat. So this game right here is going to be closer than the experts think. And I honestly think there's going to be the upset here. The Philadelphia Eagles will travel to Cleveland and beat the Browns. That's my opinion. Next, you got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Washington football team. This game right here is going to be good. Joe Burrow and Alex Smith going head-to-head. Can't ask for more. They're putting up good numbers offensively. I know Joe Burrow had a down week in Week 10 against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but you got to think about it. That Pittsburgh defense is tremendous. It's so good. But I don't think that's going to change anything. Joe Burrow's performance. I just think Alex Smith's going to have the better numbers, and the Washington football team will add another win to their resume. And this will be big because right now, Washington's in a tight battle for the East. Because the winner of the East is more than likely going to have less than 7 wins, and each win is valuable for each of those 4 teams. So Washington, I think, wins, and it's going to set up for an interesting Thanksgiving Day game against the Dallas Cowboys at 4:30. So keep your eye on that. Next, you got the Detroit Lions taking on the Carolina Panthers. This game right here is going to be a high-scoring affair, I think. Both teams will score 20 points apiece, maybe. I think Carolina, though, will come out on top, but I think it'll be by a field goal. It's going to be a close one, though. Next, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Pittsburgh is going to tear Jacksonville apart, and they will win by 21 points, in my opinion. That's my bold prediction of the week, too. Next, you got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore, last year, the 2019-2020 season, they were the number 1 seed heading into the playoffs. And if you're the number 1 seed, you get a first-round bye. And you start off the divisional round playing the lowest seeded team that's remaining. And last year, that happened to be the Tennessee Titans. The Titans defeated the Patriots in the wild card round, and they advanced to the divisional round to play the Ravens. And everybody, including myself, did not expect them to beat the Ravens the way they did. They demolished them, and they went to the AFC Championship game, which they ultimately lost to the Chiefs. But still, Baltimore is going to review that film and look at the mistakes they made, and I'm pretty sure they won't make those same mistakes, and I think they're going to beat the living mess out of Tennessee in Week 11. Next, you got the New England Patriots taking on the Houston Texans. A lot going on in both franchises, I guess you could say. New England struggling, and Houston is struggling too, but they got to find a new head coach for next year. It's been rumored that Romeo Crennel might take the job, so it's getting interesting, but I think New England wins this game. It's a pretty irrelevant game, though. Now you fast forward to 4:05 p.m. You got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Denver Broncos. Miami is coming off a big win against the Los Angeles Chargers in Week 10. While on the other hand, the Denver Broncos are coming off a blowout loss to the Las Vegas Raiders. I think Denver entering this game is just hoping to score at least a touchdown or so against this Miami defense. I think Miami is going to win by a lot, and I think Tua Tagovailoa is going to put up some big numbers. Next, you got the New York Jets playing the Los Angeles Chargers. I expect this game to be high scoring, and I just think Justin Herbert and that Los Angeles offense will begin to click in this game. They started off when they played Kansas City in Week 2 or 3. I can't remember that. But it was just early in the season when they started clicking, and then a couple weeks later, it's been going down. I think they're going to see a resurgence this week against the Jets defense. So Chargers by a lot. Next, at 4:25 p.m., you got my game of the week, the Green Bay Packers taking on the Indianapolis Colts. I expect this game to be a low-scoring affair, but I think Green Bay comes out on top. But if they were to lose this game to Indianapolis, it not only will it set up an interesting battle in the NFC North, it would also set up an interesting battle in the AFC South. Next, you got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I expect this game to be low-scoring. Two mediocre offenses. I know Minnesota's rushing game has been on fire recently, but Kirk Cousins, though, he has to get going sometime this year if he's wanting to stay there for years to come. I think that's not going to happen anytime soon, but I think they will win, but I don't think it's going to be by a lot. I think by a field goal. Dan Bailey gets revenge on the team that cut him. I don't know. Minnesota, though. Now you fast forward to 8:20 p.m. Sunday Night Football. You got an awesome game here. You got the Kansas City Chiefs taking on their divisional rivals, the Las Vegas Raiders. This game could determine who wins the West. Kansas City has already lost to the Raiders this year, and if they lose this one, they're 0-2 against the Raiders this year, and the Raiders, if they were to tie up, the Raiders will get the nod for that division. So Kansas City has to enter this game and play smart and have no turnovers and come out on top. But they're playing in Las Vegas, so I'm picking the Raiders in this one. The Raiders go 2-0 in this season's games against the Kansas City Chiefs, and I do not think they will split. Next, you got Monday Night Football at 8:15 p.m. on November 23rd. You got the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay, you got to remember a couple weeks ago, they played the Saints, and they struggled in prime time. And I think they will also struggle again in prime time in Week 11. I think the Los Angeles Rams wins by a good margin. The Rams are a hot team right now, and you cannot count them out of the playoff talks by any means. But there are 4 NFL teams that are having byes, such as the Buffalo Bills, the Chicago Bears, the New York Giants, and the San Francisco 49ers. But everybody, though, remember to please like and subscribe. My Power Rankings video is going to come out this Tuesday, the 17th, and the NFL Week 11 games spread video will come out on the 18th, on Wednesday. But everybody stay tuned for those videos, and peace.